Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Tiger Talk for season 2021 via the Winston Sports Media YouTube channel. I'm your host, Robert Winston, and today's video is going to be about previewing the round one clash between Richmond and Carlton. So, without further ado, let's get into the video. Now, by the time we get to Thursday night football, it's going to be a total of 537 days since Richmond won the 2009 AFL Grand Final over the GWS Giants. So it just goes to show there's a lot of footy fans back home in Melbourne who will be getting absolutely pumped for this contest. Not only Richmond fans, but also Carlton fans alike. Now, at the moment, we've only got 50,000 officially allowed into the MCG via memberships, depending on what tier membership you are. And I hear the state government is looking at ramping up to 75,000, but whether that happens, I suppose we're going to have to wait till Thursday to see if that one can get over the line. Now, what I find interesting about the Richmond v Carlton rivalry, and boy, don't we just love to hate the Blue Boys. They're building a really good list under David Teague, which we'll get to a little bit later in this video. But what I find amazing, and especially the dark old days of the Tigers, how badly we struggled for many, many years. It was all about round one Carlton betting Richmond every single year. I remember going to footy and I was just like, oh no, Carlton, they're going to win. But the last 9 occasions in round one, and we're going for win number 10. The last time we lost to the Carlton Blues, it was in 2012. And I remember, I think we came back, Jack Revolt, where they kicked a beautiful snap around his shoulder to get us within 6 or 7 points.
Evaporating by the minute. Jack Revolt adding something special.
Back in from here. Revolt snaps and puts it through. He's got 2.
But then the three amigos for Carlton ran away with the contest.
From Yarran.
Yarran. Still Yarran. Cheeky little bounce. Oh, well done. Runs towards goal. It's a chance. It's as good as you'll ever see.
So that's how long ago it's been since Carlton's been relevant in round one. Now, I think this is where Richmond will set up the game, and it's something they've done for the last 2 years. So in 2019, they jumped the Blues and they kicked 5 goals in the first quarter.
Martin, the superstar, long ball. Going to see a lot of that this year, we hope. High fly, Rewalt, Lynch. Gee, Rewalt crunched the pack and it made it a little easier for the big man Lynch. What a start. To explain the new rules as Lynch comes in with a new club. And the Richmond fans are delighted.
Then last year, we kicked 7 goals, right?
Bounced away from Cripps, quickly onto it, Bolton, and then Bolton straightens up. That's a lovely looking kick to Revolt, and he's got him. And Jack is on fire, and then Jack unselfishly gives it off, and Castagna kicks his second. And Richmond have got 6.
So it's almost game, set, and match in both of those round one fixtures of the past 2 seasons. So I do believe that if Carlton have any hope in this contest on Thursday night, they need to be competitive in the first quarter, because I think they're very heavily reliant on their midfield, such as, Paddy Cripps is so important. They've got Ahmed Saad, who's going to be playing off that half-back role. They literally did a smash and grab from Essendon, and those are the sort of really important players that are going to help them be competitive and possibly win. I think Liam Jones for the Blues is going to be so imperative. Last year, it was Jack Revolt who got off the chain. Almost Tom Lynch was used as a decoy. And whether that's the defensive pressure of the Blues mids not being good enough to keep up with the Richmond mids, and when you're talking, the mids of, Cochin, Pickett can go through there. Jaden Short can have a run through there as well. The list goes on. Prestia, Make the Tank, is just so important. So who wins this game and why? Well, what I'll do is go through my starting 22. Now, there's going to be a little bit of a surprise here. And I think that because we are chasing 3 in a row as far as premierships, 4 out of 5, and we've got the ability and talent to do so, obviously, Hooley will go out with a calf. The veteran half-backer is always Mr. Reliable, but I think we can afford to bring this young man. So a young man by the name of Hugo Naismith, he is only 18 years of age, and Harwick was talking him up at the press conference just yesterday. So I reckon we can afford to bring him in. I think he will provide quick pace. Apparently, while reports, he's lightning with the ball and he can hit a target. And those are the sort of players that we want. I'd imagine he'd start off the bench. So I'm going to roll off my top 22 that will start on Thursday night. So from the backs, we've got David Asprey, Dylan Grimes, Noah Bolter. Absolutely love that young kid. We're going to bring Camden McIntosh onto the half-back line, and also our ever-reliable Nick Vlaston, who got knocked out in last year's grand final. So he'll start at half-back. And then Liam Baker. He's so reliable. You can play him in multiple positions. He's a little bit of a utility, but I'm going to start him off the half-back line. Centres, we'll be throwing Jack Graham onto a wing, Prestia in the guts, and Marlon Pickett will retain his position on the other wing. Half forwards, we've got Lambert. Yet again, he's a utility. You can play him through the mid. You can play him, off a wing, forward pocket. He's just a great player. Little jet, does his job. You can almost also play him in almost like a tagging role as well. That's what I find intriguing about Lambert. Martin at half forward. We'll start him, sort of rotating in between that mid position into the forward line. But I think you can start right at half forward. But I don't think there's too much emphasis on going too hard with Dusty too soon. It is only round one. Castagna on the other half forward flank, and then the forward line, Rioli in the pocket, Lynch and Revolt would be the starting 18. And then the interchange, well, I've got question marks. As I said, Hugo Naismith, he's my big call. He'll come in. But Caddy did play well in the preseason, and I think Marbiel Child would add something. But so it'd be Hugo Naismith, Bolton, Broad, and then one of those players I just mentioned, either Pickett, Caddy, or Child, just depending on, exactly what the coaching staff are going to get up to. But I think Richmond will get the win by 34 points. I think it's just simply going to come down to working their way into the game. It's a new year. It's a new season. Even, I think, on the mark, that rule will probably benefit the Tigers. I think the fact that back lines and mids won't be able to corral our run and carry by cutting 90-degree angles, if that makes sense, I think is going to be a huge advantage to the way Richmond play. And there's no doubt that the coaches would have, performed this in the preseason. They've had their practice runs, their training runs, and they, would have got used to those rules over the two Pracky games. And just on the Pracky games, obviously had the narrow loss to Melbourne and then a narrow win to Collingwood. But what something I found really great was Trent Cotchin. He's a guy who's 31 years of age. He's just come out and said, it probably is going to be his last season as captain. We've had all the turmoil with what happened off field with the Damien Hardwick, I suppose, relationship business, which is really none of our business. It's a private matter, which I'll get to very shortly as well. But he smothered Grundy, and his desperation in the Collingwood game, I think, just goes to show you that players and the coaching staff and everyone on the inner sanctum of the Tigers has a true appreciation of what they could potentially achieve this year. So all the naysayers, all the critics out there saying, who Damien Hardwick's in a relationship with, he used Danielle Hardwick as almost like his rock and almost deflected any bad negative media attention by sort of bringing Danielle Hardwick into the fray and cracking jokes and sort of being a knockabout kind of coach, if that makes sense. But I think, put it this way, when I used to play football, I was not worried about who my coach was dating. I wasn't worried about who my captain was dating. I was just worried about getting a kick on the weekend. And you can apply that to any level of football. And I think what the Tigers potentially could achieve this year, 3 in a row, right? They speak of the great Brisbane sides that, that won 01, 02, 03. And have we truly got the credit that we deserve as a football club? I would say no. And I think everyone, that being the AFL media, the AFL world, and everyone involved is just waiting for something to get Richmond off track. But I think we're going to have that hunger. We're going to have that desire more so than ever to achieve history this year. And I did, and if you haven't watched it yet, in my prediction AFL video, I have backed the Tigers to go back to back to back, 3 in a row, 4 out of 5. But it's exciting. So I'm pumped, and I'm pumped for everyone back home in Victoria. And just in case you're wondering where I am, I'm currently in Sweden, living over here. I'll be here abroad for the majority of 2021. But you'll be seeing a lot more Tiger talk and me analysing the Richmond games and just giving my opinion the way I see it, because I am out of the Melbourne bubble at the moment. So I'm taking a really keen interest on, who's in, who's out, what players are on the rise, how the VFL team's going to perform. And it's so good. And I'm so happy for all the Victorian football fans, not just the Yellow and Black Army, but the football fans in general, even to the Blue Baggers. It's just great to be able to see a game back home at the MCG, and I'm really pumped for it. I'm really looking forward to it. But yeah, so it's the Tigers by 34 points. I've given you my reasons. I think we just, as a team, that being the Tigers, need to, just play our structure. Everybody's got a role. Everybody's got a job to do. And if everyone performs their role to the optimum of their talent and to, I suppose, their work ethic, we will definitely win this game. If you've missed the video with Pop and Oz, Dan Williams, he's also part of the Blue Abroad channel. We had a little wager, just if Richmond lose, which is a guaranteed thing that won't happen. If Richmond lose, I'm going to wear a Carlton Guernsey in his hometown of Birmingham in the UK, where the borders reopen this summer, so June or July, and sing the Carlton football song, the rendition, and that'll be hilarious. But of course, if Dan Williams loses, which they will, guaranteed certainty.
I'm famous for I like to wear a Guernsey bat.
Yep.
So if Richmond do the unthinkable Thursday night and win, I will proudly, with honour, wear your garish yellow and black Guernsey down Punt Road. And to really fit in with the Richmond fans, I'll order a chai latte, which anyone who knows me, I hang a lot of abuse on people that order chai lattes because it's not a real drink.
Well, in fact, he will be going to sing the Richmond song with a chai latte down at our beloved Punt Road to make some great YouTube content. So, look, end result, 34 points, plays that we need to respect and watch. Paddy Cripps, Liam Jones, and I think I was wrong about this, man. Silvani has been in some optimum form in the preseason. I've been a big critic of Silvani. He hasn't had his, I suppose, injuries go his way so far in his early part of his career, but I think Silvani's important. I mentioned Zach Williams, Ahmed Saad, Will Setterfield, and I think even a guy like the big Mark Murphy, or the small Mark Murphy, but with a lot of the former captain with a lot of experience. And I think Ed and Charlie Curnow, obviously Charlie's got the knee injury at the moment, and Levi Casbolt will be another one, interesting one to see if he comes up. But look, I'm excited. Carlton v Richmond, live from the MCG. Make sure, if you haven't already done so, guys, I would love you to subscribe to this channel. I'm trying to build it up. I am a football commentator. I'm working on my writing style and skills. I'm currently enrolled at Holmesglen at doing the Bachelor of Sports Media. I feel like I'm improving all the time. So if you haven't done so already, please follow my Winston Sports Media socials on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Up the mighty Tigers, and please join me for Tiger Talk every week. Thank you for watching.